Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. I'm Kathy and we're going to be uh, doing something different today. So this is what we did last week, and it was done on watercolor paper and very simple way of doing leaves, and I will leave a link in the top corner there once the stream is done for any of the watchers that catch the stream later. You can find that there. And today I don't know if you've been on any of my other videos where I've used leaves to do different types of printing, but I've never tried using it in watercolor. And on watercolor paper with Inktense blocks. Now I have used like ink pads, different colors, and it works fantastic. So I thought I would try and give this a go, and then actually either boost it up or modify it a bit with some actual watercolor. It might be a really cool way of doing fall leaves again. So these are the block form of Inktense. I do like them. They definitely need to be swatched. I haven't swatched these because it's very hard to determine the colors by the block itself. And each section has a little groove so that you could actually take a knife and just scrape some and water it down and use it as like a watercolor. I typically just leave them where they are and I just use it with my paintbrush instead, unless you want to mix a certain color or something. So I thought it's almost time to rake the leaves for tidying up for the winter, and I thought I'm running out of time to play with leaves, so I thought it'd be a good day to play with them. And it's raining and it's nice and cozy inside, and it'd be a great way to use your wet leaves with Inktense because the ink will come off very easily. This is a black lace elderberry, and it's still in pretty good shape. So I thought I would try this. Now, I am going to put it in the embossing machine. Yep, you heard it. But I'm going to use watercolor paper because I want to see what kind of images. In the watercolor paper, this is 140-pound watercolor paper, so it should take the crushing of the leaf, because I'm actually going to crush the leaf in an embossing folder in the embossing machine. That was it, the big Sizzix Big Kick. I've done this with ink pads before, and it works great. And then we can fancy them up with other things. So I'm going to try and stay away from any kind of sprays right now. The only thing I'm going to use is just a spray bottle with some water in it. And there's different types of leaves. I have birch here also, and some maple, different size birch. Isn't this a beautiful leaf? I just love fall. Just look at that leaf. It's beautiful. So I haven't done this before, so this could be interesting. So I'm going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to be, there's little pointy things on the leaf. Must be, I don't know what that was. You want a leaf that's got fairly high veins. They're protruding. And you can use curled ones too. It'll just print differently, but a lot of times the prints turn out really cool. So these are still wet from the rain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my stick and I'm just going to rub it lightly over the veins. Okay, we may as well do a few. See what we get. And a maple leaf. And do the stems too. And you don't have to press hard, just very lightly. And you'll be surprised on how much color will come out of these. Now, we can spruce them up a little bit by adding some watercolor to these also. Because the veins are a little high, what I'm thinking is I'm going to take a piece of paper and put over top of that. Looks just so that I don't get the back of this paper all dirty. So what I'm thinking, I don't need that yet, is we can take some water and actual oh, we could take, let's try where did I put it? There it is. Let's take some actual watercolor and just fill in some of these areas. Dog hair. So I already have that reddish color, so let's put maybe some yellow in there. I'm going to spray this so they're a little more juicy. Now if you have probably inks, this like Ecoline or Doc Martin, that type of thing. It is Doc Martin, isn't it? Or is that a shoe? And then just could paint the leaf itself. And we'll see what we get. Maybe add some green in there. And this is just trying things. And this is how you learn different techniques, different ideas. You never know how it's going to turn out. All right, so we'll put that one aside there. Put this one on, try, let's see, maybe some orange in here along the tips. You know, a lot of leaves have this beautiful orange color. A little more yellow. Oh, a nice true yellow. Let's do that. And then a little green here and there, maybe down in the stem area near there. Okay, we'll put that aside. This one, more yellow. I don't know how this is going to turn out, so we'll see. And then some green in there, just along the... Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to close this for a minute. I'm running out of space here. You could possibly use paint markers too, like watercolor markers. So let's get a piece of okay, so I'm going to spray this paper. And I'm just going to place it down like that. Okay. And let's see. Let's just put one of these pieces of paper over top. This is just plain old butcher paper. You could use copy paper too. I'm going to put that on top just to stop it from moving. And then I have my machine beside me. And I'm going to get the what I typically do with when I'm doing this type of thing is put it on top, and then actually I have two. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. One plate on the bottom, one plate on the top. So, and then we run it through my machine. This way. And let's see if I might need a shim of a few pieces of paper. What I normally do is just take a bunch of papers, fold them, and then decide how thick you want it. You want a fairly snug fit. Okay. Put it in there. Wrong way. Oh, that's too thick. You don't want to have to really crank it, but I want a few in there. Let's put 2 instead of 5. You kind of have to test things. Of course, this will get there. That's better. I usually go back and forth. And we'll see how it turned out. It leaked a little bit, so this could be cool. Yeah. Okay, a little bit, but it did turn out. And then the leaves get crushed. But that's awesome. Let's put that. Look at that. So that's watercolor and Inktense on watercolor paper. I love it. So you get the detail of the leaf. So I'm going to put that over here just to dry. And let's see if we can reuse these. I don't know if it'll work or not, but even this is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to another piece of watercolor paper. Let's put this one on. We'll see. I don't know if this will work twice on the same leaf, but we'll find out. And then some watercolor. Some more green in here. Some yellow. More yellow. A little green on the bottom. Okay. This one. So we'll see if these work. Maybe even some. You could spray the leaf if you find it's too dry too. I'm going to spray it once. Put it down. That. Another piece of paper. Oh, we could use just cartridge paper. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Top. I don't have extra shims, so okay. Let's see how this one turns. Might not work. I don't know. I haven't done this before. Not quite as much water on this one, so it didn't seep out. So if you haven't got the inks, this seems to work just as good. Oh, yes. Look at that. Beautiful. So you can use your leaves a couple times. Now there wasn't quite as much ink put on, but I think it worked out really nicely. We'll let that dry. And let's see what we got on here. These are pretty flat now. Now you could do both sides if you want and do a double layer. Let's try that. So we'll get rid of these. Or actually, you could, they're already pressed. Just put them in a book now. Okay, let's try, close this up for a minute. What other colors do we have here we can use? There's purples. Put this on there. Let's see. Let's see what this one is. So I'm just going to rub the back of it. And let's see if we can add some color in between. Comes off fairly easily on the leaf. Let's see what happens if we just use this and a little bit of water. Let's do some orange. I don't know if this will work or not. Some green. We could just use Inktense too. You don't have to use watercolor. Okay, so we'll just use that one. And let's try one of these. Let's do a green. And a little bit of okay. And smaller one of these. Let's do just a bright. Okay. Stem. All right. Let's do a double one. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to spray it once. And then put another one on top. Let's put just a piece of paper on top and see what happens. So I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to spray the top of this. And it's a fine mist sprayer that I'm using. Put this on for a bit of an extra shim. See what we get. And you hear the leaves being crushed. Hey, Jasper. Ooh. Now this one will be interesting because I think the natural dyes from, oh, this one is gorgeous. Look at that. That's on the copy paper. A little more intricate. But see how you overlap, you even get awesome looking. I think you guys are a little bit light. Actually. Is that better? There. Isn't that gorgeous? There's the copy paper one. These turn out, yeah, they turn out so, and they're so easy to do. So easy. So go out and get those leaves off the lawn before they blow away. I love doing these. So let's try trying to do a second one with what we have, like using the same leaf. Now, they don't always, maybe, no, I don't want to. I'm just thinking out loud. You don't see the how much you're putting on. It's kind of hard to see, but let's do this kind of lime green. They're really stuck in here. I don't know. It's hard to tell whether they're going to turn out or not. Let's see. That one's kind of destroyed. This one, you can feel, if you can feel the, let's try a blue. Maybe yellow. Oh, let's try this green. I like this green. Okay. This one. Let's try a little piece of butcher paper, see what it does. Shim. So great way of using your Inktense. Like I said, I have done this before with ink pads, and it turns out just as good. They look similar. Yeah, they do. You could try using pastels too. We might give that a go, but I just thought, or watercolor. We'll try some watercolor markers. Very, very light, but still pretty. It's a lighter one. That was one of the crushed leaves that, well, this turned out pretty good too. So there's the leaf on watercolor paper. You guys aren't seeing it as nicely as I'm seeing it. A lot more detail in it. It's hard to show it. Okay, so those are done. Okay, got a few more here. Let's do this green leaves or veins. The leaf is a little bit wet. Let's see. I guess we could try. You might have to clean your sticks off because they will get contaminated a little bit. Okay, so there's one. We'll do this one too. Green. Let's do both sides. Let's see what we get. All right. Now let's do double. So one face up, one face down. Oh, I didn't put. Don't forget to put some water on the bottom. You could actually use a soft colored spray on also. If you have watercolor sprays. They look similar to New Pastel, yeah. Looks like I get better detail with red content paper, like watercolor paper. Yeah. Now I have used rice paper also, and I think I have some, and it comes out quite nice. Now this one I just put through once. So let's kind of see what we get. Well, that's nice. So you've got a watercolor leaf already done for you. No drawing, no painting, it's already done. There you go. Very, very light. You could also play with these by improving them by adding actual watercolor on them. Let that dry. Let's try a piece of rice paper. So we'll use some new ones. These. Let's do some more. This color. It was pretty. And purple. I think this is purple. Oh, that's black. See, they're very difficult to see the colors. He's purple. Maybe some a little bit of orange in there. Purple. Okay. And we'll put the rice paper on top. We'll put one up and one down. That. And where did I put that rice paper? It is. Okay, rice paper really bleeds, so I'll put one and fold it. Oh, actually, I'll put two on. Just let it hang out. Like that. Let's see what happens. I didn't put one under. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll try it this way. It's a little messy, but it's fun. Japanese ice paper or rice paper. That's what I'm using. Excuse me. It's getting messy here. There's the rice paper. So there's two layers. One's a little bit, I could probably just have used one layer. Let's see what we got on here. Cool. Very cool. All right. And let's see, got a few more sheets, and then we'll play with them and see what we can do as far as painting them. So we have a few of these. I'm going to spray these. Inktense will go on easier if you spray them. They're wet. This is just a very fine mist spray. This one's still wet. And any more? That's about it. Okay. And we'll, all right, I put it, oh, there it is. Let's do double one. Spray it. Put this one upside down. See what we get. And then I'm going to spray this. Put it on top. Put these on. Shim it. Put it through. So you get actually color from the leaf itself when you put it through the embossing machine. And some have more tannins in them than others, so you'll get different colors for different leaves. Not always crazy colors, but these black lace elderberry have really cool colors. This one turned out really awesome. Let's see what this side's like. A little different. So you actually got a little bit of color from that maple leaf. It's a little bit on the light peachy side. Very cool. Okay, we have one piece of watercolor. Actually, I have two. Oh, no, I have three. Okay, let's do this one. And let's play with a little bit of watercolor on it. And this time, I want to put a little bit of this blue in. Okay, and that one's done. This one I can use. It's best if they're wet. Let's see. Let's spray this. I'm going to go right over top of this one. And we'll put this up here. This one right down here. and rice paper. Piece of rice paper on top. I'm going to see if that comes up off the rice paper without spraying it. It should. Ooh, rice paper. I'm glad I didn't spray it. It went right through it. You get both sides. That's cool. That's more of a ghost print. It's neat. And one more, and then we'll play with some watercolor on them. See what we can get. So I've got a few more of these leaves, so let's whatever. A bit of this. Now this. This. I like even putting them like over top of each other. I think you get some really cool effects. Some nice green. Let's spray this one a little bit. A little blue. Orange. And one more. Okay, and I'm going to spray that. And we'll put this one right in here. And I'm going to spray this side, put it down. These are so easy to do, guys. Just go out and get some leaves. You best work with leaves that have a lot of veining, like protruding veins, because you need a lot of texture to catch those veins with your sticks. Okay. This might be a little juicy, but that's okay. Oh, awesome. Look at that. Beautiful. Best one yet, I think. Oh, look at that. Mix them back and front and back. And then you get this lighter areas, almost like a masking. And that one is not all the green is from the ink. It's actually leaf color. Hey, Zandra. Awesome. Okay. Used up my leaves. Now, put these away. I think that one went there. And I'll have to clean these. This one. There we go. So that was using Inktense and Watercolor. So let's see what we got. Clean my hands off a little bit. So the nice thing about Inktense is that it's, once dry, is permanent. So you don't have to worry about it moving again, which is nice. Let's take this. We could use this kind of cool background. Paper of some sort. All right, so I'll bring you in so you can take a look at these. Do this way to be a little better. I guess I could put them this way. So, you know, depending on what colors you like. I like just experimenting with colors just to see. Now, when you're using watercolor too, remember your watercolor will dry lighter. So, you know, let's dry one. This was watercolor, so let's dry it and see how light it gets. The Inktense will stay the same color. Now you could cut these out and use them as little additions. I know a lot of people are using them to lay on top or like flowers and stuff like that. Looks cool. Like I think Daughter School does a lot of that. See how it came out a little bit lighter. Not too bad, but it is a little bit lighter. I wonder if I turn off my overhead. I think it's bleached out. Here. Isn't that pretty? Love these. I'm going to dry that one to see what it does. Now these ones, like I said, are a little bit of the actual cannons from the leaf that came out. That's the black lace elderberry. It's very, very potent. You can do this with flowers too. If you want to do petals and stuff like that. So very pretty. You can't help but like that. It's beautiful. And here's another one. Different colors. I just threw on a bunch of different colors and whatever came out, came out. Lighter one. This was rice paper. These are still a little damp. Yellows. Now, if any of the Inktense isn't fully dissolved, it will re-wet and move. So we'll see if some of this moves. Take a look. It's just a piece of butcher paper. That's pretty too. Copy paper. All right. So let's see what we can do with these. Now, some of them I would probably just leave as is. They're so pretty. You don't really need to do anything. Like this one is gorgeous. I love it. Now, if you wanted to make it more eco print looking, then you'd probably want to have more background color. A lot of eco prints are kind of on the old gray side. There's usually some rust color, cream color, yellows, that type of shades. But you know, it's up to you what you want to do with yours. There's so many leaves out there, and it doesn't take much to do these. Do a whole bunch and then experiment. Let's see. Let's try this one. Or actually this one. It's fairly it's not too busy. So how can we fix this up? I have my watercolor brushes. Now this area is really dark here, as you can see. So let's see if we can move that. Yep. See, it wasn't fully what's the word I want? Melted? Not melted. You know what I mean. So I can re-wet it and move it still. And then before it dries, this is watercolor paper. I can just soften the edge a little bit. Like some of those areas that are really, so just look at your areas that are really got dark spots on them. You probably will be able to move them a little bit. There's not a lot here. So I'm just moving it around. Now you could keep it within the borders of the sleeve, or you could actually like spray it. Let's see, and let it seep out like this. And do its thing. That's kind of cool too. Let's see if we. So it'll kind of blur the edges a little bit, not a lot, but it does give it a cool effect. Here's the yellow. Let's see what. Now we got a little bit of bleeding along the edges. That's cool. I don't know if you can see that. Just a bit. But it doesn't lose, like a lot of times if you spray watercolor, it goes very pale. Because there's so much pigment in these, it's going to keep its color. It's not going to really fade out. There. Okay, so and then if you want more, like this had watercolor on it, so you could add a little bit more watercolor. Why not? Just to spruce them up if you wanted them a little bit more. Or if you don't want to draw a leaf, you could just do the leaf part, like the veining, and then paint in the rest of it. That would look cool too. Let's put some pink in here. there's a lot of water on this one. We'll see what it looks like once dry. I kind of like it. Let it seep out. Remember, it'll only go where your water is. So if you want a little more of a blooming effect, or a little softer look to it, add some more water to it, and it'll just soften as it dries. A lot of times you don't need to even coax it. Just let it do its thing and see what happens. See what it looks like. Dissolve. There you go. Thank you. You can take away because that Inktense is going to stay. It's not going to move now that you have watercolor on it. And if you do this, it's not going to move. It's going to stay where it is. So let's dry that and see what we get. You could, if you wanted more Inktense on it, you could actually put Inktense too. Don't necessarily just use watercolor. You could use your Inktense like watercolor. Another thing you can do too while it's wet is scribe it down the veins so you're bruising the paper. And a lot of times your colors will deposit in there. Now it might be too late for this right now, but we'll see what it does. So I'm going to put this aside just to dry on its own, see what happens. All right, this one, I love this one. Now we could keep it as is, or what do we want to do? I kind of like it the way it is. I don't know if I want to touch it. Now I see a lot of dark color in here. Now if I wet it, it's going to move, definitely. But another thing you can do is scan your pieces and print them on watercolor paper. Keep these as your masters, and then if you decide to, you could change them up later. So this way you're keeping the original by scanning it in case something goes wrong. This one is cool because it's actually got tannins from the leaf that came through. Like it the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, they're hard to know, hard to play with them because I like them the way they are. They're little pieces of art. This one we could play with. Let's play with this. This is watercolor or rice paper. So let's see what happens when we wet rice paper and Inktense. Doesn't seem to move as much, which is interesting because I would have thought it would move more, but it doesn't. Well, that's very interesting. Just give it a little, it gives a little bit of a hue, but not much. And it still keeps the line work there. Just takes some of the color and spreads it. I think these are so awesome. Can't go wrong with them. These would also make beautiful cards. So you could do these on watercolor paper and then make cards out of them. Little pieces of art. That's kind of shadowy looking, which I like. So that'll dry. You're seeing the wet areas. Let's dry it. You could take pen to this too if you wanted to. Okay. There. This is the tannin from the leaf and some ink. That one's cool. And this one, I kind of like it the way it is too. It's almost like a mask, but it's still got the veining in it. Let's see. Can always make more. There's more leaves out there. I have a lot more. They're not all off the tree yet. So I like that darker center rib. Looks nice. This is watercolor paper, this one. I just find it very fascinating with this particular leaf, how one side releases the actual tannins from the leaf, which is the green, and the other side is more like a nothing comes out of it, which is kind of cool. There. Gave it a little bit of a boost. If you have oak leaves, they would be great because they have really nice big veins in them. This one's so pretty. Got a little bit of debris from the actual leaf on there. Oh, let's see what this pink will move. May not, because I think I got most of it. Yeah, not really moving. Very slight. It's pretty. A little bit in here. Okay, and then let's dry it. It's a little bit wet. Little. Gorgeous. It's more of a greener than what it's showing on the screen. I'll probably post some of these for all my members to download. That one's pretty too. It's just very subtle. A lot of these I don't have to do really anything to. That one is gorgeous. Let's see if some of this moves like this here. A little bit. It's so cool though. Just thought I would try it and see what would happen. Glad I did. That's how my brain works. I like to experiment. Another one. This one's kind of dull. Let's spruce it up. See what we can get. A little bit more this pink. Maybe we'll use a little bit more watercolor in this one. See what we can get. A lot of times your maple leaves have this gradation of color in them. Kind of like almost, I think almost this color. Some of them are pale, some of them are bright. So you can't go wrong in whatever you do. Mix a little of that yellow with that pink. Turns it a little bit on the peachy side. Yeah. Oh, there. I got another idea. Yes. A lot of times you'll see on the leaves, they're kind of speckled. And it's very hard to get that speckling without losing the line work. Unless you want to go in and hand draw all those lines. But see how you still are able to keep those lines, but you're adding the yellow to it and it's not disappearing. And you see that a lot in trees and leaves. So this is a really cool way of using your Inktense. If you want to do some speckling, but you don't want to lose it, try using your Inktense over top of or underneath the watercolor that you're going to put on top. Like I have some really fine lines on this one. And they're dry because it's Inktense. It dried, so it's not going to move. Let's put a little green in this one. Just a smidge in here. Right in the veins. I'm not a watercolorist that sticks to just watercolor. If I find an easier way of accomplishing an end goal, I'm going to use it with other medium. There, we just boosted it up a little bit. We could even darken these. We'll do that. Why not? So a lot of times you'll see really dark tips on your maple leaves. So let's darken some of these. And this paper is still wet. So I'm just dabbing some of this in and letting it do its thing. a stronger color. Okay, and then just softening the edges out a little bit. That. Nice deep color. Soften the edge. Okay, and this one. Just let it do its thing. Maybe let's do a little bit of green in here. It's bright green. Like that. Okay, and let's see how much water is on there. Don't want puddles. Right. There's that one, just spruced up a little bit. So you can change them and make them into more painted looking leaves if you want, or you can just leave them. This one I love too. The green and the orange. Love, love, love. So you have the drawing and all your line work already done. No one can say that doesn't look like that kind of leaf. Hey, it's that real McCoy. This one's pretty too. This one could be spruced up. It's a little bit on the light side. But some people might like just a very faint. You know, it's all in how you want to, what kind of end effect do you want? So I just sprayed a little bit. I love these mister sprayers. They are the best. This could be a little bit more eco print look by letting it seep out, bleed out. So you're still getting the print, but you're also getting a little bit of that color around it. And you will see that with a lot of eco-dyed papers or leaves, that type of thing. So just take clean water and go over it and let it bleed outside of your boundaries. And it just brightens it up a little bit. You could add more to it if you want. It doesn't take much, and they all look great. You're gonna wow people. I love this one. This is one of my favorites, I think. Even got some debris from a leaf. You leave it as it is. It's already got color. I think I will. This is copy paper. Let's see what kind of result we get as far as moving the Inktense. Moves a little bit, not a lot, but it does move a bit. So I'll probably put a few of these in my nature journal. It'll, once it's dry, it'll look a little bit different. Just gives a little bit more color in the leaf. Okay, let's try it. Let's see. There. I think that one looks pretty too. Like I said, you can cut these out, do all kinds of stuff with them. And this was all Inktense blocks and watercolor. That's it. And some spray water. And as you can see, you don't need watercolor paper. It does still work on, this is just plain old copy paper. So it works on copy paper. It works on watercolor paper, rice paper, and I even have the butcher paper. Let's see. Somewhere in here. Where did I put it? No, somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Oh, no. Must have put it somewhere else. But they all turned out awesome. And they can be used for all kinds of stuff. So you can either cut them out individually. You could use them as stickers, make them into stickers. You could photocopy them and use them for your art journals or in your diaries, your junk journals, whatever. So I hope you'll try it. And if you don't have a big kick embossing machine, you can do the same thing using a heavy rolling pin. You just have to put a little bit of pressure down for it. But if you're going to do it that way, the best thing to do is get a piece of, you want a fairly thin piece of plastic, or an eighth, or yeah, about an eighth of an inch, some type of melamine or board of some sort that you can put over top and then roll on that. And that way you're not going to move the paper if you're going to use a rolling pin. Just put up, you'll have to go over it a few times, and then just hold the paper down, take a peek, see if you see any juices coming out, then it worked. But yeah, just play. Get out there before the snow comes, because once the snow comes, you're not going to be able to do this anymore, because dried ones do not work. So don't think that you're going to dry them and use them in the winter. They don't work. As soon as they lose all their plumpness, they can no longer take that Inktense on just the ridges. You know what I mean? So I hope you'll try it, and if you do, you can tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you do. And you can tag me on hashtag Paint with Kathy Arbor, and then I'll be able to see it. So all my members, I will probably get this to you tonight sometime. I'll just have to do a bunch of scanning, and then I will put them up for you. And if you're interested in receiving digital downloads and traceables of all my drawings, and then that's the first level on my Patreon, and also in my join button down below, you'll see. And then there's 2 other levels above that if you want to learn more about acrylic painting, and also art journal art is the top one, but you get all of the other things down below of the other levels. Plus, on the top level, you get Happy Mail every month. I couldn't put it in. I can't figure out how to change what's in my membership for the top level. Every time I try to type it in, it won't take it. So I don't know. It's in my Patreon. And the Patreon is actually changed. Yay! You don't have to wait till the first of the month anymore because your payment will come out whenever you apply now. It's before you used to have to wait till the first of the month, and then if you joined like on the 28th of a month, on the first of the month, they charge you again, but they don't do that anymore. So that's good. All right. So I hope this was informative and you enjoyed it and you will give it a try because I think it's fun. And who knows what else you can do with this, right? All right, we'll let you guys go and we'll see you on Thursday and we'll be doing probably a Halloween painting. I got a few ideas. So I hope to see you then. And I'll have a traceable for that too for all my members. So have a fantastic day and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye, everybody.